Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Everyday EDC. My name is Tyler, and today I'm doing something again a little bit different for you. Today am going to do a 5-way battle to the frickin' death. What's better than a battle to the death? A 3-way battle to the death. What's better than that? You guys get the frickin' point. It's a 5-way battle to the death. What am I doing this battle to the death with? Well, squeak in there, little guy. I am doing a 5-way battle to the death under 7 categories. The 7 categories are aesthetics, ergonomics, quality, the blade / sliciness, the fidget factor. We are going to go into the carry profile and carry factor when you're carrying this damn knife. I just made up my own word, you guys get it. And last but not least, we're going to go into value, okay? I picked 5 knives of very similar sizes, of very similar prices. And we're just going to go ahead and do it, because why the hell not? There can only be one winner. There will be a winner declared. If there is a tie in the end, I will go over the same steps in a following video of the tiebreaker between these two. I don't intend to do that. That's not my intention. But once again, you guys know I free format most of this, and I take notes, but it is what it is. So I don't know how the outcome of this is going to be, and I'm just as curious as you guys are, which is not a good comparison because most of you guys probably never even thought of this. So I'm probably more curious than you guys. Let's just put it that way. So first and foremost, picking out of this lineup, we are going to start with aesthetics. Aesthetics is one of the purely subjective views and Tyler's opinion and Tyler's opinion only of what we're looking for here. So today we have the Qsp Penguin, we have the Rat Model 2, we have the Savivi Elementum, severely butchered by Tyler's modding skills with a stonewash finish and a dyed scale. We have the Cjrb Mini Feldspar, and last but not least, we have the Spyderco Astute. So let's get into this, guys. All right, aesthetics. I'm not going to beat around the bush on this. I'm not going to make this 5-knife video take for 15 hours. The aesthetic win goes to the Qsp Penguin, in my opinion, and probably unfairly so. Why? Because it has micarta for the same prices as these. It has this nice sheep's foot style blade when every other blade is looking like a drop point or the leaf shape style blade, and it just looks different. In my opinion, it looks cool. It's low key. This micarta feels great. It looks great. If I had to choose a secondary winner, it would probably be the Cjrb Mini Feldspar. It looks clean. It looks good. Now, if I was having a copper Elementum or something of that nature here, not fair, not same price range, blah, blah, blah. The copper one would probably win. But I'm liking the Qsp Penguin, so we're giving a notch to the Qsp Penguin. We're done with aesthetics. The Qsp Penguin wins the aesthetic mark. Next, let's go into ergonomics. So this is the ergonomics of the Qsp Penguin. Pretty good. We'll have to rate them, right? Let's rate them real quick as I go through them, and whoever wins the rating wins. The aesthetics on this, I am going to have to give a B. It's not great, and it's not awful. The aesthetics on the Rat Model 2 is, once again, not great like the Rat Model 1 as I would have thought, but it's not awful. This one also is probably just in hand and squeezing and everything. Probably going to get a B+. It beats out this, but just because this, the micarta in your hand feels, it feels good, but it doesn't, yeah. All right, so the ergonomics of the Savivi Elementum. I mean, if I choked up, it feels good, but I don't think you're supposed to choke up here because you're resting right against the blade. I have to give this one as well a B. So right now the Rat Model 2 is winning out. There's nothing special about the Savivi Elementum's ergonomics. That's not what makes it a good knife. So here is the Cjrb Mini Feldspar. I'm pretty sure this is a finger choil. I have skinny fingers so I can choke up on it, but once again, I'm not going to count that because I don't think you're supposed to. But it's your knife. You can do whatever the frick you want with it. So holding it like this and squeezing, it feels no different than the Elementum or even the rest of them. I mean, this one stands out just because of this thumb ramp, and you can kind of put it in your hands like this. And so far, the Rat Model 2 has still got it because this is going to be a B as well. All 3 of these are relative ties. Actually, this one's going to be a B-. These 2 are better than that one. Last but not least, we have the Spyderco Astute. Now, initially, you would think the ergonomics on this feel great, but I remember cutting through some heavier material and it freaking hurt my hand because this thumb ramp-ish, which isn't really a thumb ramp, it's just to accommodate the leaf-shaped blade, in my opinion, and the Spidey hole. Because when I try to do this and you're bearing down on it, this doesn't look pointy at all. Come on, focus, you little piece of shit. That doesn't look pointy, but when you're bearing down on that, it actually kind of hurts. That's the thumbprint there. Now, hurts, call me whatever you want to call me. I don't mean it hurts, but when you're bearing down on it, it's uncomfortable. So this one, ironically, gets the least. I'm going to give that a B- or a C+. So right now, the Rat Model 2 is taking it down for the ergonomics. So that is 1 point for the Rat Model 2 in the ergonomics and 1 point in aesthetics for the Qsp Penguin in micarta. Beer break. All right. Next, let's jump into quality. So we're going to take a look here. This blade centering is slightly off. I can't tell. I can't tell looking at it here. Hold on. Actually, it looks pretty damn center. The micarta feels great. The fit and finish on this is great. I mean, once again, ranking it from a F to an A, give this a B+ to an A-. Let me hold some other ones and then we'll go into it. Okay, quality on the Rat Model 2. This blade centering is definitely slightly off. It's skewing to the right just a little bit. The action on it came like garbage. I really liked the Rat Model 2 when I first got it, but as somebody else said, it's like the Rat Model 2 was just something else they threw out to accommodate, the people that don't want a Rat Model 1 that's huge. And the Rat Model 1 is just fantastic. It would probably blow these things out of the water for a lot of these categories. And that's not an exaggeration. I truly believe that this Rat Model 1 is great. But its little brother, the Rat Model 2, is kind of the one that was maybe on the B team sitting on the bench while Rat's over there throwing the football. So, quality feel, not so much. While this one got a B+ to an A-, the Rat Model 1's getting a C+. Rat Model 2, rather. Savivi Elementum. Now, first and foremost, it's hard to judge this because I did modify the living crap out of it, but after I cleaned it up and everything, it's back to where it's normal, normal everything is. The action on it's back to being just freaking fine. The centering's fine. The fit and finish was great, typical Civivi style. I saw no issues with the blade grind. It came out super slicey. So we have to give the Civivi an A- again in the quality department here because it's not perfect, and it's hard to judge because I fucked it up, but it's going to get an A- and it's going to tie with the Qsp Penguin. The Cjrb Mini Feldspar. Perfectly centered. Recessed liners. No real fit and finish issues. The action on it's great. It's got a little bit of blade play right now, but that's just, I can literally fix that in a second. No. Blade play's gone. Action's even better. Blade still centered. So, ironically, I really do have to give this, the Cjrb Mini Feldspar, probably an A. No, we got to tie it with those. It's an A- because that's not a fair comparison. I mean, these don't really have anything wrong. They just don't have anything that stands out. So we're gonna tie with these three. The Spyderco Astute. Now, the fit and finish here, no issues. The centering, if it would focus, no issues. The action, for being on bearings, competing with every single other one of these except for this one, on phosphor bronze washers on this guy. No, I lied. This one's on phosphor bronze washers too, if anybody remembers me jacking that up. But the action on this is fantastic. But that's part of the Fidget Factor. I'm just saying there's no issues with the action. No blade play. Lockup's coming in at right at about 40%. Realistically, I have no issues with the Civivi, the fucking Spyderco Astute. Once again, going to be a tie. So, ergonomically speaking, the Rat 2 won it. The Qsp Penguin took down the aesthetics, but every other knife except for the Rat 1 took down the quality feel. What does that mean? That means we are sitting at 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. So there's a tie all around except for the Qsp Penguin's winning right now. Now let's go into blade sliciness. Let's start off with the Spyderco because they are known for sliciness. This blade is a laser freaking beam. I cannot get over how sharp this thing came out of the box. How narrow, like how tiny it is behind the edge. Thin behind the edge. Laser freaking beam. But if we're going to talk about the full rounded blade / sliciness, wah wah, Hcr13 Mov. Okay. Sucks. It sucks that it had to have that because everything about this, if you just put D2 on this freaking guy, this thing would be insane. But no, they had to cheap out and go Hcr13 Mov. This, on the other hand, is a D2 steel blade. Not quite as slicey, but slicey enough. I mean, it comes down to a very narrow edge here. I'm not going to measure them out. I just remember that this is pretty freaking narrow and very slicey. So while I had the Hcr13 Mov, I didn't really give this a grade. We're going to grade this. It would be an A+ if it was D2 for the price range, but for the Hcr13 Mov, when you're combating with these, come on. I gotta drop this down to an A- or even a B+ for that steel. That's just why. This one, it's not as slicey as this, but it's coming in D2 steel. D2 steel from Cjrb has been notoriously pretty good. Not as good as Savivi's, but pretty damn good. So we're actually going to give this one an A- because it has a good steel. It's going to retain its edge for a while, and it still comes to a very narrow point. Now let's talk about the Savivi Elementum. It's got this nice hollow grind coming through, and this is, I don't remember shit. I, for some reason, wanted to say this is 9Cr18 Mov, but I'm pretty sure this is D2. Either way, both of those are pretty damn good. D2 coming in at better edge retention. The 9Cr18 Mov coming in at much better corrosion resistance. So, take that for what you will. And super, super slicey. This blade is much slicier than the Cjrb. Thus, the Elementum is coming out with an A. All right, let's talk about the Rat Model 2 for a second. The Rats are notoriously, good for them. They are very slicey. I mean, this is like the Rat and the Spyderco Astute have a very similar grind when it comes to the flat grind. It's just a very aggressive flat grind, start to finish, full flat grind, super slicey blade. Now, for the D2 version, because I have the AUS-A version just because I wanted to get it for a comparison knife, we're going to pretend that this is D2 because it's closer to the range of all these. For the D2 version, you're looking at $35 to $40 for the Rat Model 2. And for an ultra slicey blade, this has also got a tie with the Savivi Elementum because it is ultra slicey, decent priced, and just overall around a great blade shape and a great slicer, which is why the Rat Model 1 and 2 really have their notoriety coupled with other things. But last but not least, we have the Qsp Penguin. So this Qsp Penguin does come down to a fairly narrow edge, not as narrow as the others, as at least all the others. I mean, it's relative to the Cjrb. This is also coming in a D2 steel. I don't know QSP's version of D2. I haven't seen many tests on it, but so far so good. It's been holding up. The blade shape itself, I'm finding that this blade shape counts for a lot because you can actually really get in there, and I just love this Warren Cliffy style blade. So while these two have an A, this one doesn't quite get an A just because it's not as slicey as the other two. So this is going to be an A-. What does that mean? My Rat 1, Rat 2, and my Savivi Elementum are coming in as the leaders in this group. So my Savivi Elementum has not only the quality, but it's got the the sliciness to it. The Rat Model 1 winning in ergonomics, so that has a 1. The Qsp Penguin coming in at quality and aesthetics for 2 points. So we got 2, 2, 1, 1. Okay? Moving forward. Fidget Factor. The Spyderco Astute. Not the most fidgety knife because of the liner lock. It's a little tight when you're bringing it down. It's not drop shutty. Much lighter. You really, I guess you shake it down. But it's not the best, and it's not on bearings. It is what it is. I have to give the Spyderco Astute, we're going to give it a B. It is very satisfying that, it thwacks hard just because of the setup, but that doesn't make it fidgety. Fidget Factor on the Cjrb, if I were to clean it out, and I've seen it before, this thing is super fidget friendly. Super fidget friendly. So for that, we're going to give it a high score. Unfortunately, the detent is a little strong, and these thumb studs are a little sharp. So while this got a B, this is much more fidget friendly. I'm going to have to give this an A-. Let's go into the Savivi Elementum. Pretty damn fidgety. Awesome action. I'm sure I could fail it if I wanted to, but barely. Did you guys see that? That's how much it fails. Nope, making a liar out of me. But super fidgety. It's not going to wear on you. The flipper tab is great. Just a fantastic freaking knife. So while this one got a B, this one got, an A- or something like that, this is definitely getting an A. I'm not even going to flip the freaking rat. This thing, F. Yeah. And let's go into the Qsb Penguin. It had a much better fidget-friendly style to it before I jacked up the Teflon washer in the previous video. All that being said, it's definitely not as fidgety, so I'm not even going to try to compare it. The thumb studs are a little sharp too. The Savivi Elementum takes it down 3 points, 2 points, 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. And that's where we're sitting. Now let's look at carry profile. So the Elementum's winning. The Penguin's just in second with 2, 1, 1, 1. All right, carry profile. We got an awesome deep carry pocket clip that goes right behind here with the perfect swoop going on here. And this thing, in and out of your pocket, real easy, carries super deep. It's very sleek. It's solid, but it's sleek. It has straight lines, and it's very good. This one we're going to have to give an A- for the carry profile here. No. Carry profile on the Civivi Elementum, equally awesome pocket clip. Now let's take a look here. Does this get an A? Barely. It is slightly thinner. Unfortunately for my... you know what? I don't know. It does carry better. I can't even play around with that. It does carry better. It carries better. All right. This got, what did I give that? An A. That's going to get an A as well. Dropping this to an A-. Not an A+. No, nothing here is an A+. So A-, A. Your Feldspar. Carry profile. Let's take a look here. So it's coming in at much thicker than the Savivi Elementum, but it's a little bit shorter. And the pocket clip is a very good deep carry, but is not a great pocket clip. This with the little bill here, it's okay, but it's not as good as this. But it's still really deep. It's carry. This is really deep, but it's got this swoop, and you kind of got to knock it for that because that's what we do in the community for these things. So, I got to give the mini Feldspar just because of its, that stupid pocket clip and the thickness of it. That's going to be tied with the Penguin for an A-. Unless I don't know why that never clicked with me. Look how big that freaking pocket clip is. No. Just that pocket clip alone. No. All right, so the Elementum takes it down again. So we got 4, 2, 1, 1, 1. All right. Which takes us to our last category, and as you can already see, the Savivi Elementum won, but let's go over value, because that's really important when you're looking at all of these knives together. Last but not least, guys, the Qsp Penguin. If I'm not mistaken, that's like 30 to 40 bucks for that micarta. I mean, it's just nice. You know, if I had to rank this on a value, and we're isolating it, right? The value of this Penguin for the D2, you know, you got phosphor bronze washers mixed with Teflon washers. You got micarta, and it feels great. I gotta give this an A for value. I mean, it's just fantastic. The Rat Model 2, you're gonna get a B- for value. I'm not really gonna go into the justifications for it. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm not happy with the Rat Model 2. It is about the same price as this, and any day of the week, I would pick this over this. So you get a, gonna give you a P. You're getting a P. All right, so the Savivi Elementum. Base model, you're coming in at $50. Pretty damn good for what you're getting. You got these nice bearings, which is where the $10 extra you can kind of justify here. All right, $10 extra from here to here, nice bearings. You're getting recessed screws because you don't have that there. You're on G10 with some milled liners, but you know this got an A. I got to give the Savivi Elementum, you know, and that's going to get an A as well. It just, I don't know. The D2 steel, the bearings. This, you got the micarta, the D2. Toss up. I mean, they're both fantastic. You can recommend them both. This is 40, this is 50. Take it or leave it. Let's move into the Spyderco Astute, just because I was staring at it. So we're getting the Hcr13 Mov with this. But it is a Spyderco. You know, the action on it's pretty good. The fit and finishes on it's great. You know, and it's super slicey. I just can't get over that Cjrb Mov, guys. I love this knife, but for Cjrb Mov for 45 bucks, you're kind of like, everything else out there is so much better than this. Cjrb Mov, I used to have a soft spot for, just because I'm like, people hate on you. It's not your fault, you know. Blah. No, it is. You suck. When you're looking at 9Cr18 Mov, which is leaps and bounds better than 8Cr13 Mov, and it just, you just, what? No. So because of that blade steel alone, you are going to have to get a B+. There's no way you can go higher than a B+. Everything else is great, but you're stuck with a B+. And just like we talked about with that pocket clip, didn't even talk about it. It's dumb. Just dumb. Last but not least, we're going to talk about the mini Feldspar. The mini Feldspar is coming in on bearings with D2 steel and then G10 handles. Value-wise, that's tough. This is tough because the one thing that it is missing that would set it above the Penguin, above the Elementum, is the micarta or something, you know, because that has value, the D2 has value, the bearings have value, the D2 has value, the bearings have value, the D2 has value, but it's coming in at $15 cheaper. So, long story short, I mean, to me, I want to grade this higher than the Elementum, but the Elementum is a slicier knife. I want to grade it higher than the Penguin, but the Penguin's got the micarta, and I just love the blade shape on the Penguin. So where does that leave me? Just to be fair, we're going to have to give the Cjrb an A. Excuse me. You get an A, you get a P, you get a B+. So that leaves a three-way tie between these three. But as we all know, 3, 5, and 2, unfortunately, and unexpectedly for me, I was really hoping this Penguin was going to take this down. But as I do these and you look objectively at these things, free-forming on video is the best way to go because you don't come into it with a plan. Like, you know what you want to do, but you're not going to end up like doctoring something by overthinking it, because realistically, the face value, what you get here, is really what you're grading. You want to grade what you're getting and how to compare it. So for me, the best knife in this group is the Savivi Elementum. That being said, let's not forget you can get the Penguin for what, 35 bucks with micarta. You can get the Cjrb for 35 bucks with bearings and D2, the same as this. You know, you can get the Rat Model 2, you can get the Spyderco. You know, if you guys like Spyderco and you love the small knives, that's not a bad knife. I can't stand the Hcr13 and what they did with that. You're trying to compete with Civivi, and you're not. Stay out of that price range if you cannot give us what Civivi can give us, because you're just going to get that. Nobody's going to buy this when you can buy this, other than hardcore Spyderco guys. And I know steel's not everything, but when you're comparing a knife versus a knife, it has to mean something. So, your winner among all 5. And remember, this is an objective view. This is not necessarily the knife that I would particularly choose if I had to pick one of all these 5 to carry with me today. But is the Savivi Elementum. As you guys can already tell by my tone, if I had to pick a knife to carry with me out of all these today, it would be my Qsp Penguin. But when you're grading it one versus the other, etc., 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 you know, if you only care about stats, if you only care about, you know, the objective views and the tangible items, the Savivi Elementum takes it down each and every day. Thank you guys so much for watching. It has been fun. My name is Tyler. Have a great freaking day. Stay sharp. Stay safe. Drink a beer.